remember, falling is not failing as long as you get up again. We all gotta start somewhere. And this is the beginning for me. Sometimes starting a YouTube channel from scratch can feel a little bit like that. In this video, I'm gonna share why I decided to start a YouTube channel. I've been hesitant to do this video, but I figured it's about time, so here we go. One of the main reasons that I decided to start a YouTube channel is because I really just like cars. I've always been interested in cars. I don't know why, I can't remember where or how it started. It's just always been an interest of mine. Now I'm a full-time teacher, and along came COVID-19, which slowed down life quite a bit for me, and I was able to think. And I was thinking, I always want to do something with cars, and I'm going to do it. But there was a lot of fears that I had, a lot of mind games I was battling internally. One thing I've learned since I started is with every challenge comes potential and equal opportunity. And I felt that for me, it was to do something that I really enjoyed. And during the time where things kind of slowed down, I was able to think a little bit. And I learned that with each challenge comes an equal opportunity, potential. And I also learned that unless you act on an idea, it is useless. And the sooner you act on an idea, the better. And the idea was start a YouTube channel on cars. The problem was I didn't have any cool cars. I didn't have a camera, and I didn't have a YouTube channel. But I figured, okay, instead of thinking about what I do not have, let me focus on what I do have. And what I did have was I had actually two cars. I had a Toyota Sienna 2002 and I had a 2005 Toyota Camry. I had a phone. It was an iPhone 6. It was partly broken. The camera was really fuzzy. And then I had a wonderful selfie stick that technically belonged to my daughter. This is a selfie stick that I used in my first couple of videos. The camera that I mentioned, and I didn't have a microphone, but I used what I had, and that's one of the things I learned as well. So instead of thinking of why you cannot, try and think of how can you. And as soon as you start thinking about how you can, it shifts the mind, and the mind starts looking for opportunities and possibilities rather than looking for ways you can't do it. And rather than mind just kind of shutting down, the mind gets into gear. And that's one of the things I learned as well. Another issue I had, this was just for me personally, I felt that the majority of people are on social media, and I don't want to have anything to do with social media. I don't want my face on social media. And I had this quote going through my head: opinions are cheap, everybody has one. But another quote kind of kept lingering in my head as well, and that was, if the thing you wish to do is right and you believe in it, you should do it. You know, I probably like to emphasize that if the thing you wish to do is right, that it is within your moral and ethical boundaries. But if you believe in it, go ahead and do it. And you know, every single thing that has shaped and become a thing started as an idea. So another thing I learned was that if you have an idea, act on it. And if you don't act on it, it's not going to come to fruition. But the sooner you act on it, the more likely it is that thing will succeed. So I had this internal battle. Why should I go on social media? On the other hand, I was thinking, why not? What is the worst thing that can happen? And I really believe that what I wanted to share was something that actually could give people value, make people laugh a little bit. Another thing that I battled with was, why cars? There are so many more important issues in our world, whether that is, you know, the environment or education or healthcare or socioeconomic inequalities or developing, you know, poor countries. There are so many issues that are really more important. Potentially, at least in my opinion, that may be cars. And the cars has a function, has a value. So why cars? So that brings me to why I decided on real lane. And real lane is the idea of lane is where cars are. They're in the lane, but real is that idea that the content had depth, the content had quality, the content had something that was applicable to each life. So the thing that I wanted to do, and I have been doing a couple of videos if you've been watching them, is that I interview different people, we talk about their car, but also that each person that comes on the channel has a unique personality, has a unique experience, they are unique in and of themselves, that they are themselves, and no one is quite like them, and no one has quite like the experience they have. So they may have a unique expertise on the car that we're reviewing, but also they have something unique to add just to life in general. Maybe it's their job, maybe it's their experience that they've been through, maybe it's some of the skills and expertise that they've developed, whether it's education, vocation, or just through life experiences. What I want the channel to have is it's gonna be centered around cars, but it also gonna have some value and hopefully some humor. Hopefully you can laugh, and some life nuggets along the way that people can take with them. I probably should explain a little bit. The first 3 videos that I had on my channel were, I call the channel Vision Coupe. That was in the very beginning when I was just trying to do something. They're all kind of supposed to be humoristic. I'm not sure if it's a good thing if you have to explain the humor behind it, but it's kind of dry, very dry. Even in this short period of time, there are some things that I alluded to that I believe has been really helpful for me, that I've learned just from starting a YouTube channel. And the first thing is to overcome fear. And like I mentioned earlier, the fear was just for me to essentially put myself out there, media realm, to share a little bit of my life, to share the cars that I own, that nothing fancy about some Camrys. And yes, everything is relative, but in the automotive industry, almost 20 years old Toyotas aren't necessarily what a car enthusiast is jumping over to watch on social media. So I figured, hey, I do have a fear, but let me just jump into it, do something that I want. Hopefully people may find some value out of it, and if not, at least I was able to overcome the fear that I had. But I also learned to fight through what some people call the terror barrier. And when you're about to do something that you may really want to, there's this terror barrier, and it's like you have 2 voices in your head. In your mind, it's really terrifying. But as you push through that terror barrier and you upload your first video, or you take your first shot, or basketball, okay. And Earl Nightingale said one thing that was interesting, is that each of us wants something, and each of us is afraid of something. So which one are you going to focus on? The thing that you want, or the thing that you're afraid of? And you may not do the very thing that could potentially give us liberation and give us some things in life that we really, really want and would cherish and would benefit not only us, but the people around us, those whom we love, which at the end of the day, it really is all about love. And I really mean that. Act on your ideas. That is one thing I've learned that is really, really helpful, really, really important, and I think it's a good practical to strive to implement in your life. I also learned to edit videos on iMovie, and I've also learned that you can have, at least what is in your opinion, a really cool video where you've done lots of editing work and spend hours and hours and hours and hours on editing, and no one really watches the video. And I've also learned that it's not necessarily about the editing skills that you have, but the content, the quality of what you are producing, the quality that you're putting out, the content. I think if people enjoy the content, people benefit from the content, I think that's much more important than the editing skill. Laughter, they have proven, is good for your health. So I do want people to laugh. I want to laugh. I want to enjoy life. I think life is beautiful. I do want people to enjoy the things that we are talking about, and also that we can provide some content. I think what is so cool about this channel is that, of course, I may have something to add. There's so many different people that are on the channel, and they know so much more about whatever topic that we talk about. And again, it will be about cars, but also about that realness, life. And it could be about the mind, it can be about faith, it can be about character, it could be about purpose, it could be about relationships, it could be about medical field, it could be about, you name it. Last but not least, I really already have met a lot of interesting people. I walked up to people, not really walked up to people, but in my mind I've thought about walking up to people and asking them, hey, you got a really cool car, can I interview you for my YouTube channel? And maybe one day I'll be knocking on your door. That's so corny. But maybe I will. Seriously. On that note, if you are interested in being on the channel, just send me a message. Put in the comments below, and I'll let you know how you can contact me. Let's get to the last thought. Should you start a YouTube channel? I don't know. That is totally up to you. I do believe that you should do what you're designed to do. And I think we all have a purpose, like a deeper purpose in life. I'm not saying that my YouTube channel is my deepest purpose in life. It's just something that I wanted to do. I thought about it, and I believe that it could really add some cool things and add some value to people's lives. I've enjoyed it so far. And as much as I have time and the energy to do it, I'm going to keep doing it and hoping that people will get value from it. So everybody's asking you to please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm asking you to do that if you feel inclined to. If you want to support what I'm trying to do, to take some time out of your schedule. I know time is valuable, very valuable. We all have limited time, so make the most of it. And that's what I want to do as well. I want to make the most of the time I have, and I wanted my life to matter. And now I can get very philosophical here, but I really want to make this place a better place. I don't know if this is the way to do it. I feel confident that with the people that's going to come on the channel, we're going to hear so many different things as we share our paradigms and our thinking. There is truth, and some may say, no, there is no absolute truth. Well, that is contradictory, because if there's no absolute truth, that's an absolute statement. So there is truth. Maybe we should leave it at that there is truth. And all I'm offering is the blue or the blue pill. No, I'm just joking. Not really. Sort of. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.